Vanishing Folklore and Beliefs. Dwarves of the Germanic tradition from the fairy mythology, public domain reading, circa 1892. The dwarf husband and Inge of Randum. A poor girl went out one day, and as she was passing by a hill, she heard a dwarf hammering away inside of it, for they are handy smiths and singing at his work. She was so pleased with the song that she could not refrain from wishing aloud that she could sing like him and live like him under the ground. Scarcely had she expressed the wish when the singing ceased and a voice came out of the hill saying, "Should you like to live with us?" "To be sure I should," replied the girl, who probably had no very happy life of it above the ground. Instantly the dwarf came out of the hill and made a declaration of love, and a proffer of his hand and a share in his subterranean wealth. She accepted the offer and lived very comfortably with him, as he proved an excellent little husband. The Friesland girls are, however, rather shy of these matches, and if they have unwarily been drawn into an engagement, they try to get out of it if they possibly can. A girl named Inge of Rantum had some way or other got into an engagement with one of the underground people. The wedding day was actually fixed, and she could only be released from her bond on one condition, that of being able, before it came, to tell the real name of her lover. All her efforts to that effect were in vain. The dreaded day was fast approaching, and she fell into a deep melancholy. On the morning of her wedding day, she went out and strolled in sorrowful moods through the fields, saying to herself as she plucked some flowers, "Far happier are these flowers than I." As she was stopping to gather them, she thought she heard a noise under the ground. She listened and recognized it as the voice of her lover, who, in the excess of his joy at the arrival of his wedding day, was frolicking and singing, "Today I must bake and boil and roast and broil, and wash and brew, for this is my wedding day. My bride is the fair Inge of Rantum, and my name is Ecce Nekapem. Hooray! Nobody knows that but myself." "Aye, but I know it too," said Inge softly to herself, and she placed her nosegay in her bosom, and she then went home. Toward evening came the dwarf to claim his bride. "Many thanks, dear Ecce Nekapem," said she, "but if you please, I would rather stay where I am." The smiling face of the bridegroom grew dark as thunder, but he recollected how he had divulged his secret, and saw that the affair was past remedy. The niece of Jutland is called Puck in Friesland. Like him, he wears a pointed red cap with a long grey or green jacket, and slippers on his feet. His usual abode is under the roof, and he goes in and out either through a broken window which is never mended, or through some other aperture left on purpose for him. A bowl of grout must be left on the floor for him every evening, and he is very angry if there should be no butter in it. When well treated, he makes himself very useful by cleaning up the house and tending the cattle. He sometimes amuses himself by playing tricks on the servants, tickling, for example, their noses when they are asleep, or pulling off the bedclothes. Stories are told of the puck, similar to some above, related of the Jutish Nis.